Hey, this is Matt once again. We're about to another review. This is another paid request, this time for Guillermo. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, topics, reactions, it could be a review, re-review, randomness, out of the blueness, whatever it may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. Sorry that I'm moving around here. This is a film called Series 7, The Contenders. Now, this is a film I've actually seen, God, probably on around when this came out in 2001. And I think it was, actually, I want to say it was more like 2003, 2004. Because that's when I was working at Target, and right nearby was a place called Hastings. Hastings was the best store I ever went to, because I went to that store and it had it was as big, I don't want to say as a Walmart, that's too big, but it was very big, where you had movies to rent, movies for sale, magazines, video game magazines, CDs. Sometimes people would sell CDs, so you would find rare soundtracks. Just really cool store, and they had everything to rent. They had the fucking Rambo cartoon to rent. They had episodes of the 2003 Ninja Turtles to rent. I mean, best store I've ever been to. And I think this is one of so I would go there a lot because there were some days where there was cheap enough, certain day, certain time, it'd be like $1. So I would rent a bunch, go home, watch them, and then after work, get them and bring them back. I know I'm about 2 minutes in, I haven't really talked about this, because this is a film I'm conflicted on. It's supposed to be like a reality show. This came out in 2001. This is when you had shows like Survivor being very, very popular. Reality shows, they're not really a thing people talk about nowadays, because now that's become vlogs, YouTube. I mean, YouTube, you could almost say, is a glorified reality show. And a lot of times you're wondering what's real, what's not. What's their persona and how do they fake it? Do they really believe what they say? So yeah, in a way, YouTube has become the new show, but reality channel. So then you don't really see a lot of reality shows, at least ones that are in the mainstream stratosphere. But back to the day, you had Temptation Island, you had Survivor, you had The Bachelor, The Bachelorette, all these various reality shows. I remember there was one that lasted only a season, not even a season, a couple episodes, called Cannonball Run 2001. Funny enough, same year as this. Yes, inspired by the movie. There was MTV's Fear, where it was people had to go face their fears. They were in an abandoned place that had a dark history to it. They had to do these dares. Again, just various stuff. So this is an alternate world where this reality show, a couple people are picked via lottery. What happens is you have to kill the other, kill or be killed. There will be about 5 or 6 contestants. You have the person that returns unwillingly, who is a pregnant lady. And I recognize the actress, it's Brooke Smith. She's the woman in The Silence of the Lambs who is in the well, and Ted Levine's like, put the lotion on the skin or you get the hose again. She's the girl in the well. So it was interesting that she'd have to be a bigger role in this. The other contestants, you have this unemployed father who's like, but forget about it, ready for Goodfellas. You have this teen girl whose parents are like, yes, get him, yes, yes. Like, almost like the pageant parents, only different take on it. You have this older lady who's very religious and she's a nurse, but then she's actually one of the bigger killers of the group. You have this guy who has cancer and he actually has a past with the pregnant lady. They know each other in the past. You have this older, little bit more deranged guy. And it's a movie that's supposed to be very satirical. And what it's trying to do, I get what it is, and it's not too bad on that front. In portraying a reality show, it actually does a decent job. And that's my computer. I had to download something. Finally did it. If you wonder what that noise was. But Will Arnett is the narrator, and the way it's edited and the way it's looked like. It does mimic the reality shows of that time. I think they did a rather good job with that. The editing of the show and to artificially create tension and drama and, well, is this what will happen next? And yeah, it just so happens that these are six strangers that have to kill to live. And about how it will alter reality, like a last reality shows. Oh, this man has a knife to his child's neck. When we see, no, he's got a knife to his neck, not to the kid's neck, to his neck. One thing that bugged me about it, it's the whole thing where it's a lottery that you're randomly picked to be a part of this. I think it would have worked better, satirical wise, if it was by choice. Where they choose to do this for this prize. Because that's where it's kind of missing with the whole fully satirical reality show gimmick, is that a lot of people went into these reality shows at the time to get famous. Like, I would bet money on MTV's Fear. There were people that were not that scared, but they went, oh, I gotta be really super scared, otherwise I won't be on TV. And so, they will act a certain way, they'll mimic a certain performance, they'll be a bit more angrier or bitchier or grandiose because the TVs are watching and they don't want to be deemed boring or bland. But they purposely do it to get fame, glory, or fortune. And the fact that it's just a random lottery, I think if there was them choosing to do this, and then that's a lot of questions you get into. Why are you doing this for fame? Is it worth it? You're going to take another person's life for fame? Just how completely shallow and immoral are you? That way when other characters going, oh, well, this woman she has no morality. And I'm like, but you're being forced to do this by the governments. So when people do their testimonials, they're like, oh, I hate this woman. I don't care that she's pregnant. She killed this person, she killed this person. I'm like, you're being forced to do it by the government. The closest you get is like the one older, little bit fucked up guy do a little bit of yelling, ranting about the government. But not enough of that. And again, I just think if it was them purposely saying, yes, I will do this, there's a lot more to work with. And also, I do think this is 90 minutes long. I think it would have been better if it was like an hour long to mimic those shows. In fact, I think it would have been cool if they did this where a lot of these shows are an hour long with commercials. So, make an episode of the show and put in fake commercials. And I think that actually would have been kind of entertaining. So you get like the satirical RoboCop, that type of commercial put in there, like you see in The Running Man and other movies, but and then to fully showcase what kind of world this is. Because the movie itself, I thought that, again, made the technical aspect to make it look like a reality show, again, with Will Arnett, the way the narrator sells all of this, it does sound exactly like what you would hear Survivor or Temptation Island. I mean, the way it's edited, people say it's very flashy, but that's what they did back then in a lot of these type of shows. To try to falsify drama. The acting was alright. I thought Brooke Smith did fine as the lead. You have the very dumb, fanatical parents of the young female teenager. It's trying to be a comedy, but it's playing it straight. But I don't know, for some reason, it didn't seem as funny as it should have been. I don't know if it's the execution, I don't know if it's just the running time, just something about it just wasn't as funny as I think they could have made it out to be. And I can't quite put my finger on it. I think there are moments, like the parents are very rah-rah with the teen, and she's fighting this old guy, and then she gets the gun, and then the father's like, no, the safety! But then they watch their teen daughter get killed. There's quite a bit of black humor in terms of that. Or how the nurse and our lead are fighting, but then our lead goes into labor, and so you have the nurse that was ready to kill her, but then also has to, well, help the girl have her baby. Strange twist of fate. I think also with the way it ended, I wasn't really a big fan of. I think that's when I first saw this, the ending kind of killed it for me, and it kind of does as well because, like I said, if it was the purpose, like they make that choice, you're going a whole satirical edge about how, that rush for fame and glory can really be a two-way street, and how you try to go for fame and glory at the condemning of human life. If you get payback can be sweet, payback can be a bitch, karma can be a bitch. There's just a lot of other stuff you could play with that, and I think, again, there was some bits that was missed opportunity with that. Just spoiler alert, the way it ends, spoilers. Starting now, heavy spoilers. Of the 6 people, the unemployed father, he's on the run, he gets caught, he's in a hospital, and the nurse kills him with a needle. The nurse makes this plan to have a meeting. They don't know it's her yet. That's where the old guy kills the teen daughter. Let's see who else you have. Our lead. Oh, then the older guy gets shot with a sniper rifle from the nurse. So that's 3. You have ultimately the guy who has cancer, who knows our lead. He wants to kill himself. It doesn't work out, but now he does want to live. I think they could have gone a bit more into that change of he was so gung-ho about wanting to die, but now he wants to live. I think that turn of his character is a bit too abrupt. I think whether it be conversation, whether it be monologue, whether it be something else of showcasing more on what made that turn of event in his head. But he tells the nurse lady, it's the 2 of them left. They decide, screw it, we're going to work together. They make an escape for it. And then, really, they get to like a theater. There's a standoff. There's Will Arnett, who's the narrator. He's there in person. And then ultimately the lead girl, this is after she's had the baby, so the baby is safe somewhere. The lead girl gets shot and killed by the guy with cancer, his wife. I still love you. And then the guy's like, it's too late. And then he shoots himself, which again, you were gung-ho about wanting to live, but now I guess because she's dead now you don't die, you want to die again. And then the whole twist is that at the very end, for the next season, the guy that tried to kill himself with the cancer, he survived that wound. And he's like, oh shit, so he's the returning champion. And it's like, again, either you could turn it on its head where a person does win the game and he or she gets their fortune. I always say the pregnant lady, she gets her fortune, she's all happy and smiles, but maybe there's a bit of, regret. Maybe she did it for her baby. She did it because, not that it's a good thing, but still, she killed people because she wanted money to raise her baby, blah, blah, blah. And then she's all smiles for the camera, and there's merchandise, and there's toys. Pregnant woman, action figure. Pregnant woman, standee, like rock 'em, sock 'em, but shoot 'em, grab 'em. There's even like a toy collection where she's having labor, and you do this thing, and the baby comes out, and then goes back in. Comes out, goes back in. Depending on how you pull it. I mean, that's what I mean. I think there's a bit more you could do with this satirical edge to it. And that, she's all smiles. Yes, it worked for me. But then again, in her eyes, you see that there's a bit of regret that she did, and she's not really buying her bullshit. She's not really buying the fact that, I don't know, I'm just, like I said, it runs out of steam by the time it gets to the third act, and there's a couple humorous moments throughout, but I don't know, it's kind of a hard movie to review. I didn't hate it as much as when I first saw it, but because of the finale, it's not something I would see again. I would say it's an interesting idea, mixed in with a little bit of a missed opportunity, at least for me. So, with that said, I've seen much worse films, but again, the ending kind of bummed me out for it, I'll say. So, with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.